Shannon Elizabeth's character is, very like, I don't want to say heartless, but her brother dies in that movie, and then that's her mom, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna go chill out with the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Hey, bro just died, but hey, we're gonna go, Netflix and chill.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Crooked Crypt. This is a new monthly segment we have going on. I'm with my co-host here, Steven. Steven, say what up.
What's going on?
So we are starting a new segment. Like I said, it'll be monthly. We're going to do some movie reviews. Now, the reason we're doing this is because Steven here started a movie club, kind of a virtual, we do it on an application and stuff like that, but it's kind of like a big text thread, if you will. And he calls it Fright Film Freaks. So we decided, I've been in that group for a little while now, and we decided that it'd be cool. We do video reviews. Some people do just type out their reviews and stuff like that in the chat, but some people do videos, which I like to do. And we decided, hey, why don't we just do our videos and stream them to the world? Fuck it. Why keep it to the just the group? You know what I mean? And it's something that I've enjoyed doing, and I've been really busy lately, so it's been, I've been on the outs a little bit, but I think it's cool, man. Talk a little bit about the club.
Oh man, so I was talking to my sisters one day, and where I was like, we should start like a book club idea, but we're like movie club, and we talk about different movies. We'll just make it, real low key. Like I say, people can do text reviews or video reviews. We use GroupMe. Found that was, Microsoft owned it, so it's accessible on any operating system. So we use that to communicate. And I mean, we've had some great movies. Every month we do a different theme. So like this month, being December, we did Christmas horror. Last month we did vampires, and then we've had some really cool movie reviews. A lot of people brought up a lot of good points of movies that I've seen 100 times, and I missed points that they saw, and that was what I wanted. And it's just cool, man. Anyone who's watching this, man, the horror community is it's a
Oh,
strong knit community.
it's wild, man. It's
And
wild.
I
And
love it.
yeah, it's cool to have it on like a different platform too. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's really not broadcasted to the world in the chat and stuff like that, but it's always respectful. It's people giving great reviews. Also, it's not just about the reviews. It's talking any current events horror, any horror news. I was bringing up Nosferatu a lot, and because I'm super excited about that film, so it's cool to gather everybody's opinion, and then people watching movies that like I might not be that interested in. And then like I hear people talk about it in the group and I'm like, oh hell yeah, I should probably check this out because basically people are talking about it like Smile too. That's been the big one lately in the group chat, right? So like I'm seeing people I didn't love the first one, but like everybody was talking about the second one so much. I was like, man, I might have to watch this one. So it's
Watch
cool to
that.
get both. Yeah, I gotta
Yeah,
check it out. I gotta
yeah,
check it
you
out.
gotta check that out, bro. Streaming on Paramount Plus right now. Streaming on
Yeah,
Paramount.
yeah.
So I'm
I still got
definitely.
I've been so busy, dude. I gotta check out a lot of movies that have come out. Like I still haven't watched Alien Romulus yet.
Oh man, you're behind.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm so behind. Moving into this new house, man, it's killing me.
Hey,
As
you
the
gotta do it though.
viewers will be able to see, I haven't built my studio yet. Usually I got a lot of cool stuff behind me and stuff, but moving into this new house, people know how that is. It's tough to get going.
Yeah, yeah, man. So yeah, we it's been really cool so far. It hasn't been a year yet since the club has been started, but we got some great people in it. I think we got about 30, 31 members right now. Anyone interested, and you're more than welcome. Just reach out to John and he can send you an invite link. The more the merrier.
Absolutely, absolutely. If people just want to talk off Instagram and it's not exactly about creating content. We just decided that hey, it's a good opportunity to create some content, but it's just chill. It's everybody just talking. You get to meet some cool people, and I thought, a few of us have followed each other on Instagram too, which is cool. So you meet new people that way as well that have the similar likes that you do. So that's really cool. But anyway, today this is our first episode of Fright Film Freaks, and we are We are getting into Jack Frost, man.
Oh, the gym.
1997. Just an absolute fucking bomb, dude. Like, are you kidding me, bro? This movie is wild. And I mean, this won't be very new to people listening to this. If you haven't watched it, then skip this episode or pause this episode, go watch it. I watched it on I saw it was on Peacock, so I just jumped on there and watched it really quick. But dude, this movie's wild.
Yeah, yeah. It's available on Peacock and Prime. So
Yes.
you got two options to watch it. Man, what a gem. What a gem. I don't want to, take credit, but I'm the one who recommended this movie. And so for, people watching this, so how we do it is every month there's a theme, and then all of the members will recommend a movie that fits the theme. And then the homie Justice Zero, he puts it into like a lotto draft, and we randomly pick one, and then that's the movie we watch, and we can review anytime. We keep a separate thread about that movie, so
Right.
that way, if you haven't seen it yet, you can stay off that thread, and you can stay in the main chat. But man, yeah, Jack Frost for December. What
Yeah.
a
First thing I want to get into, dude, is the snowman himself because it's so funny. You see a lot of movies like this that are like a cheesy or a little corny or whatever, but like there's a lot of them that are like take themselves really seriously. So it's like they're so bad, they're good. This movie feels a little different. This movie, it feels like everyone, the cast, the crew, the writers, the directors, the producers, everybody knew that it wasn't going to be like this really serious story or movie. You know what I mean? They were just kind of like, let's add some fun to this. Cause like, if you were to just recommend this to someone who doesn't like horror movies, it would be like, they'd be like, the fuck's up with this snowman, bro? Like this, this thing is wild. It looks like just this big fucking paper mache fucking looking thing. You know what I mean? And everybody remembers like is it, was it Michael Keaton that did the Jack Frost for Disney or whatever? And he was a
yeah,
musician.
and that was a cool thing. They came out very close to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very confusing. Like, um, I remember, like,
Oh,
seeing them.
the video store, dude.
Yeah, you would see them. They would be side by side, especially in the smaller video stores, on the new release wall. They came out very close together, So
Yeah, it's one of those ones that they probably should have had like a little slip in that was like, this is not a kid's movie.
oh,
Because we get some
I'm sure that got rented by error plenty of.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, I wonder which one I wonder if this one came out first. This one might have come out first, man.
I I think didn't the Keaton one come out in '96?
98, bro.
Oh wow, you were right. My apologies.
98, bro. That's so funny. Back to back, bro. Like one, just one Christmas you're watching this movie, next you're like, oh yeah, this Jack Frost movie. Nope. That's so funny, bro.
Michael
But
Keaton one should have been the sequel.
oh man, that would have been great. Oh yeah, so because there is a sequel to this movie as well, right? There's like
Yeah,
the
and
so
I
I
didn't want to
haven't.
get into that yet because I've
Yeah,
seen it, and we can talk about this original one.
yeah,
But man, you think this one's over the top? That one just takes it to another level. But
yeah.
I'll leave it at that because one day we might get a
We
chance
got to
to
go
watch
into it.
Cross two.
Yeah, and I haven't watched that one. So the only I've seen bits where like I know it's like on an island, they go like to the Pacific or something like that. And
Oh,
so
it used to be on Prime, and it's not available on Prime. It's not available on anything anymore.
man,
I don't know where you can watch it digitally. I tried looking on Vudu; they don't even have it for sale on Vudu. So,
I
but
remember I remember that one being like the lenticular cover where you would like move it and it would just be a snowman, then it would be him like going towards the screen and shit, then like his teeth would be out and stuff. It was crazy. But yeah, so the snowman itself, I mean, is a very weird style like monster. You know what I mean? It's like really big and clunky and like he doesn't move very well, so they definitely hide him a lot through this film. You know what I mean?
yeah, he does a lot of pop up scenes,
Yeah.
like some man like holding the snowman up, and right, honestly, it's like a lot of like Sesame Street kind of puppeteer that they did on it. But hey, I'm not hating because, like
No.
I said, the movie is a true holiday gem. I'm
There's some like it feels like he's got a lot of like Chucky in him, I feel like, with his like the way he's, his vocabulary and shit is very, he's doing all these puns and stuff, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
like there's that one part at the end of the movie where he gets hit by the truck and he like flies through the air and he's like, I can see your house from here. And you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck,
Yes.
dude?
He comically flies really high too,
Dude,
you
so
know.
funny. I wonder if they made a completely different snowman for that, or if they just like took the huge one and just like chucked it. I'm sure it was like super light, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just made it look like really big and shit. But no, this movie, so it reminds me of Chucky as far as the character goes, like Jack Frost, the character. But then the rest of the movie kind of gives off like My Bloody Valentine vibes, where like it's a small town and the characters, what that movie did really well and what this movie does really well is it's supposed to be a small town and they're small town characters and they feel like small town characters. You don't have these like big actors, big names and shit, besides what's her name that ends up blowing up later in life. But
Anna Elizabeth.
yeah, yeah.
I think this was her like first movie, I want to say. This is
Must have
before
been.
American Pie. I know that.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that was her like that was her
Yeah,
gateway
I put
into
her on the
the
map.
yeah, but I think this was before for sure because I think American Pie must have been like 98, 99 maybe. But besides her, she was a no name at the time. So I mean, they just feel like small town, quirky, fucking weird characters that aren't like being too serious. They say funny shit. They like know where they are. It's very like it's very satirical, which is cool. And that's what I mean when I say like I don't think anybody took this movie too seriously, even when they were making it, which shows on screen, which is a good thing. So it's not one of those movies you could be like, oh, it's so bad, it's good. It's really just good.
Yeah. It seems like they had fun with it. I mean,
Exactly.
they used it was all practical effects, and that's what made it fun. I mean, it's just, I mean, how much are you gonna take that story for real?
Yeah.
Serial killer becoming a snowman.
Just
So
just mixes a
yeah.
mass murderer with like a genetics, gets hit by like a genetics truck and just, it's so funny, man. It's such
Actually,
a
that was probably one of my favorite scenes. They use really cool effects when the chemicals hit him and he's like melting into the snow.
yeah,
Man, very
super
well done,
underrated.
really good.
Yeah, super underrated, dude. Hey, the kills are really good too, man. Like I was trying to decide before we came on, I was like, man, what's my favorite kill of this fucking
I got
movie?
mine.
I think I'm gonna go, I'll be honest, I think I'm gonna go with the mother who gets killed when she gets her face smashed into the
You stole mine, brother. You stole mine. That's
dude,
my favorite. I got that written down. Favorite
it's
kill
so
scene. The
good.
mom.
I would love to have that movie if they ever did like a steel book or like a re-release of like a Blu-ray to have her in the Christmas tree like as the cover. You know what
Oh,
I mean? Like it's so good. It reminds me of all the famous like horror movie Christmas movies, you know what I mean? They all have that famous, you got like Black Christmas and all those where the girl with the bag over her head and shit and you have all that kind of shit, you know. But this one, she looks really good when she's like stuck in the tree and like the things are popping out. I'm like, man, that's pretty fucking gnarly, man.
yeah, I love it when he takes her face and flipping piles it in the flipping box of ornaments and just flipping grinding it around and brings it up and you see she's got the pieces stuck to her
Yeah.
face.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good. And then he
very well
shoves
done.
one in her mouth and just closes her jaw. I
Yeah.
was like, oh fuck, that's like some Home Alone shit. But and a really funny thing that happens after that is like all the cops are there and it's like dubbed a crime scene at that point. And then two of the sheriff and the deputy are just talking, and then she's just being carried in the background. Like the whole Christmas tree is in the background, like walking by the scene, and you can just see her face in it. It's so good, dude.
Oh man. And that poor lady, she loses her son, his head gets cut off by a sled. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, and Shannon Elizabeth's character is, very like I don't want to say heartless, but her brother dies in that movie, and then that's her mom, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna go chill out with the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Hey, bro just died, but hey, we're gonna go, Netflix and chill, so
Seriously. And they do it. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna take homie to the sheriff's house for some reason. Like
yeah.
super random, but like I think it was probably a way to like I'm sure they were on set, like, how are we gonna get this scene to switch, without like just going to a different house? Like, because then they pull out from the pipe bursting, they pull out and then they're just behind the trees and shit. And she's like, "Yeah, let's just sneak in." The kid's like, "What? We're gonna go into the sheriff's house? Fucking why, man?" It's so random. It's so
Hey,
funny though.
that dude's down for everything. Oh, what? Undressed in the kitchen? Well, let's go. You know what I mean, dude? Dude is ready. Dude is ready for anything. You know?
Oh, so good. It is when he's popping the wine bottle. He's just like, it's so good. And hilarious about that scene too is like her just like upstairs blow drying her hair forever. And
Yeah,
then she
yeah.
just immediately gets in the tub. You're like, wait, this feels like it should have been reversed.
Yeah, what's going on? You know, I get it. They needed this, you know, they needed an excuse for her not to hear, you know, him getting slaughtered by old Jack downstairs, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. But hey, you know what? It's Jack Frost. We don't
Yeah.
need it to make
We
sense.
don't need that shit. We just need that next kill and we need him to
Yeah,
say some funny ass shit. And like, but it's just so funny that she's like, "You stay here. I'm gonna go get ready." And then she's just like, like she's just
yeah.
randomly drying her hair. What the fuck?
Yeah, we get the close-up scene of her undressing and getting into the tub, and then you know, old Jackie boys, you know,
Already in
waiting.
there.
Golly, I remember that was like one of the first things that when you know I watched this a long time ago. Like I don't think not when it first released, but man, late '90s, early 2000s, and that was the scene that people talked about was you know, oh man, the snowman. You know, I don't know if it was a scene. You know, they
Right.
kind of like leave that. You know, that's a gray area, and you know, good for them because I'm not a big fan of those type of scenes, but it's so comical that you enjoy it because she's like literally stuck in the
Yeah.
snowman, and she's like, and it's like you know, it's snow, so you know, I don't understand what was holding her back, but
She could have just
hey,
pulled out.
yeah, exactly, right,
Yeah, they definitely insinuate it with the carrot nose missing, right? And then he
yeah,
pops it back in and like all that stuff. But they don't show anything too gruesome, which is good because I'm with you on that. I have a hard time. Like, I don't even own like I spit on your grave and shit because it like I understand why those movies are popular, why they were good. You know, the whole rape revenge thing just doesn't really do it for me. Um,
same brother.
I just get too like it almost like takes me out of it. It takes me out of the, especially if it's like a little bit into the movie where you're like, if it's a good movie and then something like that happens, you're like, oh, yeah. So if they would have shown that in this movie, it might have, and I think it was insinuated enough where people like probably were up in arms with it when it came out. But now you can look back on it and be like, there's way worse shit out there. So we're
Oh,
good.
no, absolutely. Yeah. So, but yeah,
But that's like the famous scene, right? That's like the famous scene from that movie.
that is, man, that was the one, that was how I started like why I watched the movie was like people were talking about that scene, not
Yeah.
because of that scene, but that was getting out on the streets where, hey, y'all gotta check this Jack Frost movie out. And they're like, the ones with Michael Keaton? Ah, the other one, the original.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. The OG, dude. The OG.
Yeah.
Hilarious
Yeah,
to think that.
absolutely. Now, and not to get off topic, when I went to go search for it, did you see that there's another Jack Frost from
Yeah.
22? And now is that a remake? And the
No,
preview looks legit. We watched the preview and that looked good too. I don't you have to check that out if you haven't seen it. But
so I saw the thumbnail of it, and that seems more like the because they did like a claymation version of Jack Frost that was like a guy. And so that's like it's not a snowman, it's like a different dude, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I saw that thumbnail and I was like, oh, another one. That's fucking weird. Just Jack Frost popping up everywhere, bro.
I know, right?
Okay, crazy. But let's talk about the ending a little bit because like the antifreeze thing is so funny to me. Like that, is it oatmeal that the dad has in the bag?
I don't the ending is so like screwy that I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden it takes the little boy that says antifreeze, and it's just like he looks at what you say, and
Yeah.
it's like the light bulb. And all I know is when he jumps out of the window with Jack Frost into the truck of antifreeze, that's just the
Oh, it's
funniest
great.
thing ever because it looks like they just took like a white. He's got like a white sheet with like something small. It's not this big old snowman. It's
No,
just so cool. He jumps in his truck. I'm like, I think he would probably be dead because the truck bed's not that deep, and he goes
no.
head first. So
And you're just swallowing antifreeze, bro. So
yeah.
like, but when the dad realizes it, I think he has like a thing of dried oatmeal or oats or nuts or something where he's like he throws it at the snowman and it starts to like melt him, right? And then he's like to his son, he's like, "What did you put in the oatmeal?" And he's
Yeah,
like, "Don't be mad." And he's like, "Just tell me what you did. You're not going to be in trouble." And he's like, "I put antifreeze in your oatmeal so it wouldn't get cold." And I was like, "Wait, whoa, 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 whoa! Step back really quick." And the dad's pumped. He's like, "Oh my God, that's it." And you're like,
that's
"Wait."
it. That's it. Yes.
Wait, are we low key forgetting that you probably would have died? Like if this was just a regular day, like you're going to the hospital, probably dying.
Hey, let's not forget that the whole town actually thought that boy was the one who beheaded the bully at the beginning, and they're
Right.
all cool with it. Well, he says a snowman did it, so we're just gonna let him chill with his mom, right? So, like, in today's age, they would have had that boy in the prison,
Oh my God,
they would have had him
definitely.
locked up with the adults.
And
So
the dad's just like, I know my son said it was the snowman, but I have to believe my son.
I
It's like, wait,
know.
whoa,
And the father
crazy.
of the dead boy's man, he goes, "Hey, just go home and chill. Yeah, your son just got beheaded, but
Yeah.
just go home and relax,
We'll talk about this tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, this seems like a now situation, you know? Crazy, man. But the antifreeze thing got me. I was like, bro, like you just put antifreeze in your dad's oatmeal? Like he was gonna eat
Yes.
that while he was on his shift? Homie's going to the hospital, bro.
Now, Jack Frost looked really cool when he did that. I like how they did that because, like you said, it's got a lot of elements from Child's Play movies and the Chucky. So,
Yeah,
and it was cool because half of his face was missing, but then it showed like blood and, it showed like he was still kind of human inside of the snowman because you saw like just like red to represent guts and brains. Nothing skeleton like wise,
right.
but he looked cool. He looked really cool.
Yeah, you saw like his almost like his brain like hemorrhaging and shit, which was like
Yeah.
a cool idea. And like the whole concept of the movie of like the agents going and like one of the guys from the genetics company is there, and like his whole it was kind of deep, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, we basically just found out inadvertently that like souls like are a thing. You have a soul, you know what I mean? Like that was the whole point of the movie. You're like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. Like, yeah, this guy's not only did it like you know, take his characteristics, but it's like his actual soul in the snowman, which is hilarious because fast forward a year, you got Jack Frost with Michael Keaton and his soul is put in the snowman. And you're kind of like, was this movie must have come out and like that production company and writers must have been like, oh fuck. Like we've been writing this movie for like 2 years and they just made this crazy fucking serial killer horror movie out of it. It's the same concept, you know?
I would like to think, I want to imagine that the same director and writers just did both of them
Oh, it'd
because
be so good.
they're both amazing.
Like the horror movie, the horror one was just like a test screener, you know? They're like,
Yeah,
let's see if we'll just dump some money into this and see if the concept works, and then we'll do like a lighthearted one and make fucking a bunch of money or whatever.
hey, that was the movie they sent to the studio so they can get the full length feature greenlit. They get Keaton on
Exactly.
board.
Yeah,
Hey,
for
I
sure.
hey, I got an important question.
All right.
Who do you think would win, Keaton's Jack Frost or this Jack Frost
Oh
in a
man,
fight,
dude.
one on
Well,
one?
well, this one shoots out icicles, which is pretty badass.
Do you?
We never saw, because here's the thing, horror Jack Frost can melt and go through vents, go through cars.
Wasn't he in the refrigerator at one point?
Yeah, he was just straight up in the refrigerator, and then
Yeah,
he was outside
how'd
again.
he get in there?
And then he throws the snowball from outside. You're like, wait, what's going
He's
on?
everywhere at once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he can like put himself into a couple of different places, you know what I mean? Which again is very much like Child's Play, like Chucky in the sequels where he kind of starts putting his soul into different dolls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in kind of interesting, man. It's the more I think about it, the more of the Child's Play kind of elements like exist there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's funny you say that because my son Stevie, when we watched this man, years back, like we went to a horror hound up in Cincinnati or Columbus, and they had a Jack Frost reunion. I mean, like
okay.
they had about 5 or 6 people there. They had a life-size Jack Frost, and that caught his attention. So we watched it, and that was the first thing he kind of mentioned at a young age, is saying, man, this kind of reminds me of like a snowman Chucky. And you just you nailed it, man. It's got a lot of elements, of it.
Does.
Serial killers, gets transferred to another thing, but this time instead of a doll, it's snow and ice, and
Right.
he runs with it.
Right. And like just all the one-liners, like he has the same personality basically as Charles Lee Ray in Child's Play. Like it's the same personality. He says fucking dumb shit and he's funny about it. And he's like doesn't give a fuck that he's a snowman. You know what I mean? He just it's like
Yeah.
a one-track mind of just wanting to kill that's all that matters. So it's really interesting and I'm wondering how many people like I'm sure a lot of people have like kind of caught on to that, you know what I mean? But I mean there's really good elements of this movie, bro. And it's a good, they got like, now I'm sure they got around the licensing a little bit, but like there's a lot of like pretty good like Christmas music in it where they tweak it a little bit, but like
Mhm.
they did like Silent Night and shit, but they like drop it a bunch of octaves and it's low. And like, so I'm sure that's how they got away with it. And it's really quick snippets, but like it is a good Christmas movie too. It's not just like this winter movie. It's got a lot of good Christmas elements in it, which is good because that's why we're talking about it this month, right?
Yeah, no. It's one of my favorite Christmas horror movies. I know there's more B-rated Christmas horror movies out there than actual like theater quality releases, but man,
Right.
this one's good, man. I mean,
It is.
I got nothing bad to say about it. I was so geeked when it got picked that I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I gotta watch this immediately. You know.
Yeah, and
So,
it's like it's a good runtime. It doesn't like lack in that area. The dialogue's good. It doesn't take you out of it. The characters are funny. They're concerned and in the story when they need to be, and then when they don't need to be, they're funny and there's things in the background happening and there's not too many characters coming in and out. It's like pretty straight to the point, which is good for this movie. It just feels like they kind of hit the nail on the head where they were just like, listen, they were definitely at the writer's table, like, listen, let's just do this, and this, and then let's end it. You know what I mean? Like, let's not like try to put too much like heart and soul into the movie and shit. Like, we got some good dialogue. Let's just run with that. Let's have fun out there. All right, team, let's go.
this is a movie that if you got some friends over and you guys just want to watch something and you're tired of watching Home Alone for the eighth time this month,
Yeah.
put in Jack Frost. You guys can just sit back and laugh. I mean,
Dude,
it's honestly it's a comedy horror, and they knew what they were
yes.
doing, like you said, so like it's great.
Dude,
Now,
it's definitely a party movie for sure. Like,
exactly.
you're having a
Now,
couple drinks with your friends, fucking tip them back, watch this movie. It's great.
did you get a kill count? Do you see how many people Jack Frost took out?
I I started to lose it towards the end, but like I know right before he kills Shannon Elizabeth, he's at four, or the boyfriend, he's at four. I'm pretty sure because he says it. He makes like a baseball joke. And so he was at four, then he kills those two. So that's five, six. I'm gonna say right around 10, probably.
I counted 10 on the dot, and I had Stevie double check my math. So, I mean, if we're wrong, my apologies, but we
No,
counted.
I'm gonna say that too because he was at four before he killed the couple. There's five, six. I know he kills the two agents. There's seven, eight, and there was definitely one or two in there that I'm probably missing. So I'm gonna say 10. But hey, leave a comment. Let us know if we're wrong.
Yes.
Go watch it, count it. Let us know if we missed a few.
And then, hey, if someone thinks Michael Keaton's Jack Frost could take this Jack Frost, please let me know why, because this Jack
Yeah,
Frost is obviously the more dominant snowman. He's the big dog in the
yeah.
yard,
He's way bigger too. Like he's just and he like I said, the melting and he's shooting icicles out and shit. Like I know my man Michael Keaton can throw a snowball for sure, but and he can sled and shit, which is cool. But I think this guy's got it. This guy's more sinister. He's Malice in the Palace, bro. He's going hard.
Yeah. Now, one thing we forgot to mention in Fright Film Freaks, we do a rating and we do it
Yes.
out of 5 pumpkins. What would you rate this out of 5 pumpkins?
Well, I'm going snowballs for this one,
Oh, okay, I like it.
but I'm gonna go 4.5 out of 5 stars.
I love it.
And the only reason I'm not giving it the half star is because I wish, and it's not their fault. I just really wish the snowman was a little better. You know what I mean? But like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like that's what they had for a budget. You know, it's really not their fault. It was 1997. That's what the snowman came out looking like. You know what I mean? But
My favorite is when it showed his hands because it looked like you can tell it was a guy and he was wearing like these thick white mittens with like it looked like he was wearing like an oversized white like cashmere sweater.
for sure, for sure.
Oh man.
It looked like he was
Okay.
wearing one of those like puffy North Face jackets that was white or something. But and also with going back to that was like when he was getting the kid was like stabbing him with like an ice or like an ice pick or something that he was using to get the ice out of the fridge. He
Hmm.
was like stabbing and you could see that it was like styrofoam basically. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
so
yeah.
I was like, oh, it takes you out a little bit, but it's really not their fault. But so I'll go 4.5. That's the only reason it doesn't get 5 for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 4 out of 5 pumpkins. Four out of
Yeah.
five pumpkins. 4 out of 5 snowballs. I like I said, I mean, I got nothing but love for this movie. If you haven't seen it, a lot of people in the club, been talking to people in some of the club, and a lot of people haven't seen it. So I'm very excited for this, like a first time viewer.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things I like when we review these older nostalgia movies like that, where you got people who haven't seen it, so they're giving like a today's look on it, and that's great. What a great outlook.
All right, man. Cool. This is it for episode 1 of Fright Film Freaks, man. Jack Frost, 1997. Merry Christmas, everybody. Make sure you guys check out all the other content on Crooked Crypt. We got some great independent films on there that I've made. We got Devils Are We on there. We got Just Friends. We got The Pill. We got Worm. Go check those out.
Just Friends, that's my
Yeah,
favorite.
shit's dope, right?
Man, I love that one. Yeah,
It's
please
good
check it
shit.
out, man. My man John over here is doing things. Check it
Yeah.
out, please. I mean, he got things going on. So,
Yeah,
and
and I
then
think,
also too, I mean, Fright Them Freaks. If you're interested, I mean,
yeah, hit us
everyone's.
up.
I mean, and we can just talk. We could talk horror movies. We look out for each other too. Like these days, these horror movies, man, they go on streaming so quick. So I mean,
Yeah.
we look out for each other. So if someone's seen something, we're always rating everything out of 5 pumpkins. So it's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, absolutely. So check that out. Make sure you guys are liking all the content. We just released some good reaction videos to some new trailers that just came out, Nosferatu and Y2K. Y2K just hit theaters this weekend.
Man, those both look so good. I can't
Dude,
wait to see both of them.
Nosferatu is gonna just fucking crush, man. I'm so excited. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm a big classic monster movie guy. I love that shit. So I'm really excited for a retelling of that story. And Robert Eggers is the perfect fucking guy to do it. So
And next month's theme for Fright From Freaks is New Year, New Movie. So one of those movies could be selected. So we could be
absolutely.
talking about one of those next month. So
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, make sure you guys check out the other content. This is episode 1 of Fright Film Freaks. We'll be back with episode 2 next month. Steven, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
absolutely, brother. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for having me, man.
yeah, absolutely. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
we'll see you.